for 30 years, they haven't even reached a solid agreement or conclusion about everything. So I just think that it's naive to get on YouTube or to read a book or to look up an article and say, because these articles said it and it aligns with what I believe, then I'm right.
Yeah, I think you already dropping gems right now. Let me add on to this too, though, fam. Uh, I know for sure when it comes to me and Ed, it was one thing you was talking about in particular, and it was talking about how the black woman and the weave and how it blocks out, like you need to have your scalp free, and
That's
the
bullcrap.
but
Me personally, I'm gonna tell you why I think that that's bullcrap. Is because we were. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's bullcrap. Is because we were applying the so-called knowledge and yielding no benefits.
yeah,
I did not elevate to this level of God status or enlightenment by doing so.
yeah, it was the first
If
word.
it works, then it works.
If it
But
works,
bruh, I was there.
yeah,
We were doing the things that was so called enlightening or you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to get you closer to God, but it wasn't working, bro. Look at what we was doing, bro. Before the cult leader got arrested, look at what we were doing, bro. What was enlightening about that, bro? What
so
does
so
what does
I'm gonna
oh,
okay.
go
So
ahead.
like I said, I'm gonna say 70% of the knowledge that y'all was teaching, I can agree, and that's why I want to point out one of the things when it comes to women and their hair, and like the hair being the crown, and if you put certain things on top of your head, it can end up blocking out some key things that you need. What was you talking about, man? Like I think that was dope. Like I think that you was really
Bro.
dropping some gems
It
and a lot.
sound good, but here's the thing, bro.
Yeah,
It sound good, bro. It sound good, bro.
yeah,
This is my thing. I don't care what knowledge you got, bro. If you don't know how to treat people, you don't know nothing.
definitely,
What good is the knowledge that you have if you don't even have social skills to be able to interact with the most important creature on this planet? I don't want to hear nothing about no gorillas. I don't want to hear nothing about no gazelles. If you don't know how to treat people as a human being, something's you're I'm not gonna say something's wrong with you. I'm gonna say you're not as aware or enlightened as you claim to be, bro. There's nothing more important than your interaction with people. To me, bro. To me, I'm not on here. This my thing, bro. This is my motto that I
hmm
made for myself.
yeah,
The motto I have for myself is that I'm not here to tell you what to do.
yeah.
I'm just here to tell you you can do it. That's it, bro. That's the
That's
type
dope.
of attitude that I
That's dope.
have, bro.
That's dope.
Cause I I heard, or matter of fact, I read in the book Steve Harvey wrote. He said that the ladder I use to climb to success, you might not be able to use that ladder. So I'm not gonna sit up here and tell nobody you got to do 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. That just might be my path, but your path gonna be completely different, bro. And there's not, and to me, I feel like there's not a such thing as absolute path that people need to take. I feel like everybody is a path in itself.
Definitely.
So to try to funnel everybody into this one righteous path, to me, I feel like that's ignorant.
Ignorant. Gotcha.
I feel like we should extract the value in everybody's path because I feel like everybody got a story, bro.
You do.
Everybody in this room got a story. I don't care if you might not be a best-selling author or a multi-millionaire or have a business, but something you went through can be utilized and extracted to help somebody else, bro. Um, I know that there's gonna be mixed feelings about the situation, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody that's interested, I know that there's gonna be people who are interested legitimately. I know that there's people who are gonna be, you know, rude and disrespectful, that's fine. I can handle it all. But for those who are interested in cults, Netflix just dropped a series called How to Be a Cult Leader. It's really informative, entertaining at the same time.
But I think you already dropping gems right now, fam. I think that teaching stuff is in you. Truthfully.
Man, I feel like everybody got a story, man. I feel like everybody got something to offer, man. And that's another thing that I shifted away from is I'm not isolating myself into this elite group that everybody should listen to. I feel like everybody deserves to be heard. That's why social media is so popular. Everybody want to be heard. Everybody trying to put themselves out there. Everybody trying to tell their story.
Yeah,
So who am I to tell you your story ain't valuable because you wear weave or you wear makeup? I
yeah,
feel like all of that. To me, I feel like humanity as a whole, we have so many more pertinent issues that need to be addressed. We can deal with going to weave. I feel like that's superficial, bro. We got way more
yeah,
issues that are affecting us as a whole. What
yeah.
somebody put on their head ain't one of them to me.
Gotcha. And when you come like the list of priority things that we should be able to address.
Exactly. We need to prioritize and what people put on their head and the clothes they wear and whether or not they got on shoes ain't one of them, bro. To me. To me.
I think you. Gotcha. I agree.
Because putting weave in your hair ain't killing. Putting weave in your head is not killing nobody, and it's not having no adverse effects on your intellect, bro. To me, I don't
Gotcha.
feel like there's enough scientific evidence or tests that show that blocking your hair from sunlight or blocking your scalp from sunlight is having adverse psychological effects. When I myself witnessed people who were so-called close to the sun and doing all of the divine things, acting quite devilish. But here's the thing, bro. It's deeper than what is was shown on the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep reiterating that because I know it's easy to say, man, y'all people crazy, man. Y'all some fools, bro. Y'all some idiots. That's what it can look like on a shallow level. But I'm saying, man, I urge anybody that really want to understand what happened, bro, to watch these cult documentaries that keep coming out on Netflix, man, and you'll see the similarities.
Let me ask you this: where do you feel like you at spiritually? Where do you feel like you at?
Man, I feel like I'm right in line with everybody else. I don't feel like nobody, regardless of your accolades, regardless of your finances, I feel like everybody right in line. I feel like we all on the same level. I think it was what's that dude name? I think Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said that everybody in some way is my superior. So I can't hang like for example, I can't hang my hat on something that I'm good at and then use that to make everybody around me inferior. Everybody I meet in some type of way is superior to me at something. So I feel like I'm looking at people more as beings of value rather than people I need to use to try to make myself feel better by putting them down.
That's,
I really
man,
believe that.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Looking at
I,
people.
yeah, I just feel like the need to put other people down to lift yourself up, man,
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely,
not a sustainable method of living.
definitely, definitely. Like I feel like you shouldn't know. I don't. If people get a thrill out of downing somebody else, like that glorifies them and they feel superior off of that, I'm scared of them. I'm gonna be real. Like I'm scared of them folks. Them the folks. It's like you mean to tell me you get a thrill off of just putting other folks down?
I mean, it I I mean, in some type of way, it's understandable why they do that. Some people that's all they seen. You understand? That's what was done to them. So they don't know any other way how to engage with people. So when you get downed a lot, I mean, it's expected that you go forward and do the same thing. So I don't take it personal. It's just the internet, and I know the internet,
Hmm.
like the things people do and say on the internet, is not what people are doing and saying in real life. You know.
Got you.
So as far as the rudeness go, you know what I'm saying? If you rude in real life, the consequences that you would face are drastically different than you face on social media. You can get away with it. So that's why people do it. Some people do it because they get away with it. It's fine.
Yeah, man. Y'all hear Aaron, y'all? Everybody want to know when you going live. They want to know when you
I
going
might
live.
I might go tomorrow.
Might go to one.
Yeah. I might go tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna go live today.
Aaron knowing a troll that ain't left him.
I'm really not, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be hard for people to let go of who they think I am because it's all they seen. And it's
Yeah,
a very unique it's a very unique circumstance. It's a very unique circumstance. I know it looks like a bunch of people just acting the fool on the internet, but like I keep saying, I'll continue to reiterate it, man. It's a lot deeper than that. And the people who want to understand, they will, and those who don't, they'll just continue to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like a group of people who was being stupid, but that's fine.
let me ask you this now. It's
Yeah,
been it's been a year since you pretty much changed. Let me ask you this. It's kind of hard to answer, but maybe not. On 1 to 10, what's your level of happiness? The average person gonna say, like most people, average is like 5. That's in case y'all don't know, y'all. You ask anybody else, even your personal, ask yourself this, y'all. What's your level of happiness out of 1 to 10? The average rate, most people say 5. What you,
yeah. That
what do you
that's the
consider
first
yourself
number
out
I
of one
was.
to ten?
That's the first number I was gonna say, 5, and for two reasons. One, just because I left the cult, it doesn't mean that now I'm exempt from the struggles of life.
Yeah,
Challenges and obstacles, they're going to be present to the day I die. And two, I intentionally don't get too happy. And the reason I say that is because I feel like when you, for me, if I get too happy, then I kind of want to get complacent or comfortable. It's kind of like if you win the championship, if you win the Super Bowl, if you get too excited, you forget that you got to do it again. And so I like to stay in that middle ground of enjoying the things while they're in front of me without getting too wrapped up into them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be the rest of my life, but I also don't live in a depressed state to the point where I can't move forward. So I like to stay in that middle ground. And I'd say, to answer your question, it'd be a 5.
got you. But do you do regular stuff now? Do you, how you say
Yeah,
regular?
bro.
Do you
No, I get you. Yeah.
do you like go
Like
to
my
malls? Uh, do you go to like? Do you watch the game? Watch regular TV,
Yeah.
sports, anything like that?
Not here's I don't probably do it as much as some people. But yeah, I spend most of my time reading. I play a lot of chess. Um, I'm in school now, so I have my school work um,
That's what up, man.
through-
School for
throughout
what?
the
What you
week.
in school for?
Well, I was in school for psychology, but I found out that I'm I'm psychology on TV. And psychology in school is not the same thing. And I realized that, yeah, I like watching like CSI and
Yeah,
stuff like that, but the field of psychology, that joke was boring to me. So I
yeah,
changed my major to esports because my school offered it as a new program, and I'm like, dang, that'll be tight to play video games for a living. But then when I got involved in that, I'm like, bro, I can't sit down and play no game that long, bro. Them boys be playing the game like people go to work, but I'm like, bro,
hours.
I can't play the game that long. I gotta move, bro. I'm a mover, bro. Like, nah, bro, I can't do it. So I changed my major to what my associate's degree is in now, and it's interdisciplinary studies. Basically, it's general studies, and it allows me to go and take classes across a large span of topics. I can take Spanish, Russian, space studies, psychology. I can take whatever I want, and so that makes me. I like that path better because it's more flexible. It's less restrictive because the psychology was like psychology course after psychology course after psychology course. I'm like, dang, bro, I'm tired of psychology, bro. I'm trying to do some.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to do something else, man. Dang, hey. And so I was like, yeah, let me just do interdisciplinary studies so I can have a wide range of things to choose from.
yeah. So associate's gonna be like that, but then bachelors you got to tighten up that wide range, and then masters you got to
No, no,
tighten it up even more.
not on interdisciplinary studies. My best that's what my I have an associate's degree in that
So,
field. Now I'm going for the bachelor's degree, and the flexibility is the highest amongst any degree available.
but what would
So
it
I can
allow you
take.
to do though? Like when it comes down to like,
You talking about as far as career choice?
yeah, career choices.
I mean, you won't. I'm not. I don't know for sure, but for me, I don't think you'll be able to get an expert field like you won't. I won't be able to get into an expert field like computer technology because that's very focused. But
Yeah,
as far as you know how you'll see um an application say, do you have a degree or not?
yeah,
So it'll apply then, but I won't be able to get into a highly focused field like psychology or anything like that. So,
got you.
and I got the GI Bill, so I'm gonna use it.
Oh, you max that
I'm
out,
gonna
man. Max
use it.
that out.
I'm gonna use it.
Max.
I'm
Look,
not just gonna.
look when I got out of school. The reason I went to school in Boston when I was going for my PhD. When the reason I was going to school in Boston is because Boston, they BAH was close to. Damn, boy. Aaron, where you at? Come back, fam. We gonna make my phone heat. This is whack, man. Whack, whack, whack.
Okay.
Yeah,
Technical difficulties.
yeah. But I feel like I don't know why I feel like y'all you cold with that field of psychology. I feel like you cold within that field.
Nah, man. It's not, at least from my school, it's not how it's presented in entertainment. I was interested in it, you know what I'm saying, watching stuff like Criminal Minds and all that, but when I got into what real psychologists do, I'm like, nah, man, this ain't for me, man. I just be wasting a degree, man. I can't do it because nah, man,
Oh yeah, that's what I was
nah.
saying. My bad. Yeah, so when I was going for my PhD out in Massachusetts, so the only reason I was going up there because the GIB was paying me close to $3 grand a month, 3 racks a month just for it. I'm like, man, I'm count me in. I was buying a little ticket,
Yeah.
flying out there, coming back. I had to go to class for 2 days out the month. I'll spend like maybe $500 total on the
When you
round trip.
said you were going, when you said you were going for it, you finished it? You got your PhD?
Fam, when I was put, should have been Dr. Akins, Dr. Keyz, aka Dr. Keyz. I was in my final semester finishing up my dissertation. I stopped because of social media.
Oh,
Final dissertation, my final at the end of my dissertation, the very end. I stopped because of social media. I never went back. But
hey man, hey, that story ain't uncommon.
man, and we talk about the
That's not
highest level of
uncommon.
education you can achieve, y'all. Like I stopped because of social media. I was making money on social media, too occupied, and pushed it off to the side. But you know what I'm saying? I thought about going back. I think about that every semester. I think about going back, and just updating my
Yeah,
research. But
that's a yeah. That's another thing I was gonna say. It's not too late, man. I seen this guy. He was like 80, and
yeah,
he went for his PhD.
yeah.
And look, bro, another thing, bro, that made me get out psychology. I ain't gonna flex, bro.
What up?
One class I took, I looked at the syllabus and like you know how you can check and see what to expect in the
Yeah,
upcoming weeks.
yeah.
And one of the requirements was a 7-page paper. I was like, bro, I'm back.
Oh, that ain't nothing. That
bro,
ain't man. That's basic. That's so basic.
listen, bro. I ain't been doing no schoolwork in a long time, man. I wasn't ready for that, bro. I backed out, bro. Went to
Man,
esports, bro.
that's so
Esports so
basic.
easy,
7 pages. That
bro.
ain't. Man, I do that with my
Esports so
eyes
easy,
closed. When you get look, man. When you get used to writing
bro.
20, 30, 40 pages, and you got your dissertation to 150 pages, look, you be like, damn, oh, that shit ain't nothing.
Listen, man. I know I probably should be ashamed of myself, but I ain't got no script to follow now, so I don't have to make myself try to look good at all times.
Yeah,
bro, I backed out, bro. As soon as I seen that 7-page paper, I said, bro, I'm not writing that, bro. I'm not writing it, bro. I'm out.
yeah.
I'm out.
But look,
But I'm gonna have to get. I know I'm gonna have to get back. I know I'm gonna have to face it though, because
for real, cause they ain't gonna get no easy. Like that's mandatory.
yeah.
That's
But I don't
mando.
know right now. I don't know. Once I get done with the bachelor's, I think that might be it for me. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and do the master's or not. I don't know.
You got to. You got to.
What is your field?
My associates was in criminal justice. My bachelor's was in criminal justice with a minor in military operations. My master's degree
Okay.
was my master's degree was in social work, and then my PhD I was finishing up in law and public policy, and it was focusing on mental health. Oh
Okay. I feel you, Tiffany. At least you got that thing though. At least you got it, man. Cause going to
yeah,
college is going to college and trying to deal with adult stuff is
yeah,
not easy, man. So I commend everybody that's going to school, and then on top of it, having kids, I
yeah.
commend everybody that got kids that go to school to actually finish that thing, man.
How the fam doing?
Oh, they good, man. Everything good, man. I'm glad we got out of the situation when we did, because from the research I've done, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but from the research I've done, we typically don't remember much prior to the age of 3. And from what I've seen, my son is developing right on time, man. Right on time.
That's what up.
Super smart, super active, man. He showing me a lot about myself as far as like true, like you hear stuff growing up, but you don't really understand it until you get to that point. But I remember I used to hear people say, "Man, kids change you, man. Kids change you, man." And like knowing that somebody is totally dependent upon you, that make you look at the things you're doing with your life, man.
For real. That's a
That
fact.
make like, because when I was in my 20s, every decision I made was totally on me. It only affected me. But now, man, I got a wife and a son, and every decision I make, man, it affect them too. So you know what I'm saying? I can't. A lot of stuff, man. I just don't even have no interest in it no more. And me personally, bro, I feel like when it comes down to like addiction and getting people to better themselves, when they have a newfound meaning in life, but that's where that joker make you quit a lot of stuff that you thought you couldn't quit, bro. Like I don't even have no desire to do a lot of stuff no more, bro. Just because it's like I always gotta think about two other people before I do something. Which I think, and that's why I say, bro, I don't think you can bring the best out of yourself without attaching it to somebody else.
Definitely.
I feel like people bring the best out of you, bro.
Definitely. Now, that's how I be feeling about the world. Like, from my lens, the world is a spiritual battle, constantly. And I feel like a lot of the people, this is just my perspective, y'all. Y'all heard me say this several times before. I feel like a lot of people are already dead. They just walking around with a heartbeat. And some of them are just here to cause confusion. Any
I
obstacle,
disagree.
any type
Oh,
of
my bad.
person,
My
like
bad.
it's just there. They're just there to cause confusion. And your response to it is like a test. How you maneuver around, does that energy make you change for the worse or for the good? I feel like it's challenging. And some folks is just like, I mean, I feel like those some energies is out there like, well, them. I know that I look at me being a Christian, y'all. I look at everything as angels and devils, but at the same time, I
Okay.
understand science. I'm a believer in science. Science, positive energy, negative energy. Angels, positive. Devils, negative. And with way you deal with that negative energy, how you let that negative energy impact your life. I mean, it's up to you how you let that negative energy impact your life. I'm big on that.
Now
I'm big
tell
on
me this.
negative energy jumping off from one person to the next person. The same way I'm big on demons jumping off from one person to the next person. The next person, demons can jump off on you to the point where it start changing your whole personality, your perspective, your morals, your values, the way you move and respond to stuff, and things like that. And I mean, y'all can call it karma, y'all can call it reap what you sow, you can call it reciprocated energy, whatever it may be, y'all. But I really feel like the energy you putting out here in the universe, it can return towards you. So you got to move a certain way. And even going back to what you said at first, what was the first thing you said about the people treating people a certain way, doing unto others, that you have them do unto you? All that stuff goes hand in
Yeah.
hand. Like it's hand in hand. Interaction
Let,
with
let me ask you this, Keys, because I don't want to lose that point that you made. Okay, so are you saying? I just want to make sure we clear. Are you saying that there's people on this earth whose sole purpose is just to cause confusion and be demons?
cause confusions. Definitely,
Okay.
I feel like they're
Okay.
dead. They're
Okay.
already walking around. They just walking around with a heartbeat. They just here, and like I said, it depends on the way, the level of life that you look at life in. Of course, on like just a regular, basic world, we gonna look at like, no, that person is not a. That person is not a. They're dead. You know. But if you look at another aspect, you like, if you start in certain lights, you gonna look at it like, that person, they already dead. They just lost. Y'all ever felt like somebody was just lost? Like they don't lost their conscience, they don't lost their soul, and the stuff that they do is all pure evil. or it's to the point where it just has a motive. And like you never want to get to the point where I feel like if you lost your conscience, you lost your soul, you pretty much lost everything. Because everything you do, even if you do something good, it's a motive attached to it. Like if you do something good, you're not gonna do something good in private. If you do something good, you're gonna do it in public so everybody can see it. Those are the folks you got to be called.
Not
They want praise for everything that they do publicly, but when it comes down to private stuff, they wouldn't give a penny to nobody in private. They wouldn't
not
offer
not check
condolences or
this.
prayers, anything in private.
Now check this out, Keys.
What up?
Because my stance has changed, you
Mm-hmm.
could be absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I want to let you know that I share the same stance right now
Yeah.
until I'm proven otherwise with Black Mamba. I feel like everybody, if we trace it back to the beginning of their life, we
Mm-hmm.
can see that their behavior can be attributed to some type of failure on somebody else's part, whether that be their parents
Mm-hmm.
or their environment, the government, because you got to
Yeah.
think, Keys, human beings, unlike any other animal, we are the most dependent creature on the planet to
Yeah.
our parents. Uh, you got some animals, they let their children go 3 days later and they on their own.
Yeah.
But we literally cannot survive without the assistance of another human being. So I feel like the people who we look at as maybe society's misfits and failures, I feel like if we look back into their life, we can see how that person, if given the
Oh
proper
yeah.
attention,
Oh
could have
yeah.
been something else.
Oh yeah. I was talking to somebody. I was just talking to somebody or whoever it was, and I was like, yo, you can relate this to something that they've been going through for the longest. It could be, you know, childhood trauma. You can see like where it's not come from this person, the recent experiences, it's something deeper than that they're battling. You can go back and see how their behavior was. You know, you can trace it back to something. All
Yeah.
right, Lo, I'm gonna hit you, Lo. And it, everybody, like it or not, y'all, we impacted off of something. You know, our family, community, the environment. It could be whether you're in the hood, in the suburbs, or whatever it may be. It could be a religion. We impacted off something. A lot of that stuff dictates who we are and our perspectives when it comes to things. So definitely.
Now
And
I will say this though. I will say this though, Keys, is that I feel like at a certain point, whether we consciously pinpoint it or not, I feel like at a certain point we start expecting more out of people at a certain age. It's like if you do something at 16,
mhm,
people can excuse you because that's expected.
yeah,
But if you do it at 45,
yeah,
people ain't really gonna give you that same leniency because they feel like you should have made it to a point where you're able to recognize what's wrong with you and then seek the help.
yeah, definitely.
I feel like now more than ever, mental health is not something that people reserve for crazy people. Like I think everybody know that mental health is just like getting a pedicure and manicure. Like you
Yeah,
need to tend to that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
definitely.
You need
Look,
to
in
tend
case
to
y'all
that.
don't know, y'all, 70% of y'all have mental 70% of y'all are depressed, y'all. If y'all ain't went to the doctor yet, so I'm gonna tell y'all, 70% of y'all are depressed. That's the statistics associated with it. 70% of America, or was it the world?
But
I forget what
pe-
study I read. Was it America or the world? Like y'all
yeah.
going through some form of depression. Some of y'all depression may be more prevalent than others, but everybody going through something,
Now
like it or not,
Pete did, bro. Nah,
going through
me, I, I,
something.
bel- I, I feel like, and this not towards you. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
I feel like this one reason why I knew that the cult was a failure. Looking back, it's a failure because if you are able to pinpoint the problem, but then not do anything or provide some type of solution, you're just as much as the problem. Pointing out the problem is not helping the problem. So if we know that the world is largely depressed, then we got to figure out like why. Why is that?
Yeah,
why are we depressed? Like, why is life so unsatisfactory for such a large number of people?
yeah,
And me personally, my opinion, I feel like it comes from comparison and false expectations. That's just me.
yeah. And I'm gonna say this as well, y'all. When it comes down to, if we take the concept of depression or people experiencing problems, even though we relate minorities, people of color, we relate this with the hood, and poverty, things like that. Depression is on every level. Depression doesn't have a pay scale associated with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Since I know that, it can be factors, surrounding factors, environmental factors, socioeconomic factors that can contribute towards certain things, definitely. But when it comes down to as a whole, I think that's what we got to look at. Like, is the money don't bring you happiness? Money is good to use, y'all, but it ain't gonna make all your problems go away.
It definitely won't.
Rich folks hit the
It definitely
lotto,
won't.
3 months later they committing suicide.
Oh, bro, the example that struck me the most, bro, is I can't remember her name, but I know somebody in the chat know. But it was she's a former Miss America, and she was on TV, and I think she had her MBA, and she was a lawyer, but she
Mm-hmm.
ended up jumping off of a building, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. A couple years ago, um, when it comes down to,
I,
that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to, our perception, we could look at somebody, they could graduate from Harvard, got a Yale degree, they could have a nice house, they could be married and everything. All the things that we were like, okay, that's the American dream, that's life dream. Married, kids,
yeah,
graduate from Yale, comfortable, and still be going through some shit, and still be really messed up in the head. I think that's what we got to out. What if we look deeper into the problem? I mean, I don't really know. I can't really say where it's coming from. If we look deeper into that problem, like I really can't say.
no, I think that it's not an umbrella
Like I
solution.
don't know if
I
it's the
feel like,
food, I don't know if it's the water, but
bro, I don't know, man. I'm rocking with Black Mama, bro. I feel like it starts with the childhood, bro. Me personally, bro. I feel like once we can get that right, then the adult will just move on itself. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I feel like, but not, don't get me wrong. There's people that have messed up childhoods that don't allow that to affect them,
yeah,
which makes me feel like everybody's mental health issues really have to be addressed individually. I feel like that's the only answer,
yeah.
is to not treat people as something that you read in a book,
And,
but treat them like a unique person that has their own
and then
individual set
exactly.
of
But,
issues.
but another thing is too though, people got to be comfortable. Watch this. Watch this. Troll pages and all. What's my mental health diagnosis, y'all? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Watch this. Put, put it
As
in the
far as
comments,
what?
y'all. Put it in the comments. My mental health diagnosis.
Oh,
Go ahead. Put it in the comments.
oh,
My
you
mental
talking
health
about for
diagnosis.
you?
Put it in there. If y'all know the medicine I take, put it in there. I'm saying this
Oh,
for a
you
reason.
talk about.
And I'm
Oh,
saying it
I thought you were saying like what you felt like was wrong with people. You're saying that you yourself have been
myself.
diagnosed.
And I'm saying on the fact that, and
Oh,
the reason that I want all y'all can do this, to say this, and y'all comfortable, y'all to put it in the comments, people got to get more comfortable with talking about their shit. That's the reason I do it. I want people to be comfortable and talk about their shit. A lot of folks is going through something, they're not even comfortable talking about it, so they keep it on the inside. They let
right,
all of that
exactly.
built up, all that level of all the depression and all them thoughts they got, they keep it wrapped up, bulked up on the inside. And here it is,
I'm
me
gonna say
telling you,
this.
look, I got problems too. Don't look at me and think I'm just somebody special. I got problems too. Go see a therapist.
Right,
Go get some medicine. Focus on your spiritual side. Connect with that component. Go exercise. Go do that. And I do that. I'm transparent for a reason. Like, mental health
I
should be
agree.
nothing that people should be frowned upon, and they're like, no, y'all need to go. I don't know. It's like the way the world is. They look at something like, well, if they find out you doing this, it's going. I don't know if it's the the stereotype associated with it, or the how people gonna feel like. What are they gonna feel like if they know about certain things? Like they gotta get out of that mindset. Damn with these people.
Well,
Damn
let
with
me add this though, man.
go ahead.
Be careful who you confide in, man. I agree that mental health needs to be more commonplace. So that it's like everybody, if you got the flu, people ain't gonna look at you crazy because everybody get the flu. If you got the chicken pox back in the day, I don't even know if people still get the chicken pox, but
Yeah,
I remember when you used to get chicken pox, it wasn't them because everybody had the chicken pox. But to add to it, man, y'all be careful who y'all confide in, man. Because some
yeah,
people could turn that and weaponize it against you, bro.
yeah. And that's the sad part. Like I can never, if they try to weaponize your mental health against you, something wrong with them. It ain't nothing wrong with you. Uh, when it comes down to mental health, y'all should be transparent. Y'all should be able to talk about y'all problems, y'all issues, anything. Like the more you talk about it, more it becomes a norm for people to talk about it and understand it. That they not alone. Like people can start opening up more because there's a lot of people that go through stuff. They be behind closed doors trying their hardest to make it to the point where they get to the point where they just feel like they're on the blink. And you should never get to the point where you're on the blink because the last stage of mental health is what is if you it's uncontrollable to a certain extent, they end up losing themselves. And you don't want the folks to
Yeah.
lose themselves to the point where they, you know what I'm saying, them offering themselves in some way, somehow. They should feel open and
But
transparent that they can talk to anybody.
ain't it crazy, bro, that there's no like with some diseases or issues, cut and dry there's cut and dry signs. But like another incident that bothered me was the guy Twitch. Like I didn't know about Twitch. But once I heard about it and did my research, I watched videos of him, you know what I'm saying, prior to, and like you would think that this dude was a happy, content dude, man. Like you never really know what's going on behind somebody's brain, bruh. At the end of the day, bruh. Never know, bruh.
Yeah, I got low, y'all. Don't trip. I got low. But with Twitch, what happened with Twitch? 21, what up?
He ended up he was a guy that was on the if I'm wrong, y'all let me know. But I think he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and he used to interview certain people and talk to them and whatnot. And dude had a, you know what I'm saying, dude looked like he was happy. You know what I'm saying? As much as we can perceive happiness from people's physical appreciate that, Jay. He was a DJ and a dancer. And I seen him also interview a couple of people. He was on Stomp the Yard. I must have missed that. But it was sad that somebody who, you know, in anybody else's opinion, we would easily say that's true, Lady Italiana. We would easily say that Twitch was successful. The average person would assume that Twitch was successful, but you never know, man. Exactly, Goon. That's on crazy, bro. That's why, man, you gotta be careful on the internet, man. Like even though there's a level of disassociation on the internet, man, you can't be saying certain things to people, bro, because one comment can send somebody.
Robin Williams. Yeah, that's right. Robin Williams, love.
Yeah, Robin Williams was very that was very interesting, especially watching Miss Doubtfire. I used to love that movie, boy.
Yep.
I watch Miss Doubtfire all the time. Then you know what I'm saying. Hey Jay, I swear, bro, I hate Hood, bro. I promise you, I hate Hood, bro. I never liked it, Jay. I like Hoorah better. I wish the army would change that. I wish they would change it. Hoorah is so much better, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate
But
y'all.
oh,
Appreciate it.
this is what I
Yeah.
want to tell you, Keyz. This is what I want to tell you,
What
bro.
up?
If you and everybody listening, bro, I just read this book and it's old, but I just read it this past week. It's Man's Search for Meaning, bro. I swear that's one of the best books I ever read in my life,
Man,
dog.
search for me. Who was by?
His name Victor something, bro. Let me look it up.
Okay.
But he was in a Nazi death camp
Yeah,
for 3 years and survived, bro. But like the things he learned from that experience, bro,
yeah.
that
And,
joker, that joker, they'll change your perspective, bro.
and you know, one of the things I be telling folks, like, I got 3 kids, and people ask me all the time, what do I want for my kid? Like, growing up, y'all, I was a, look, I'm talking about, I was so raw in football and basketball. I played every sport. I was raw, banners in the
Athlete.
paper, all that. My son was completely opposite of me. Completely opposite. Book nerd. He is square. He played ball. He was good when I taught him it. Like he was good as hell, but he was like more so into engineering. That's what he in school for now. When anybody ever asks me what I want for my son, I just say I want my kid for my kids. As all my kids to be happy. That's it. Be happy. I don't want nothing else for them. I want them to live their life and be happy.
Yeah, I feel you.
Good people be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Cause yeah, anything else, bro, anything else is just gonna be unsatisfactory.
Yeah. Because it don't matter the job you got, y'all. As y'all seen with these people, it don't matter how much money you think they got. As we named a few people, money, none of that shit. Like none of that shit matters. Like it's definitely as good. It can be essential when it comes like to buying things or you know having a face, being known in the world or some shit like that. But other than that, look, you can still go through problems. You got your 100%.
Late
Oh,
Jay,
Jay, that's what she was talking about, Jake. Yeah, get your
Jay,
bag,
you
Jay.
late. Hey Jay, that boy that about to ride smooth. That boy Jay said I got that 100 piece. Jay,
Oh, life is good.
that boy, that's why that boy you see nothing but teeth on that boy profile picture.
I was trying. I was trying to tell these folks too. And when it comes, who was I talking about earlier, y'all? I think earlier today or yesterday. And I'm like, yo, my kids, when they go to college, like the VA pays them like $1,400 a month just for going to college. Just for going to college, they get paid $1,400 a month. It's called the
I
VA. The
don't care what
VEA.
no bruh. Key, I don't care what nobody say, bruh.
Oh,
Going to the military one of the best
best
decisions I
decision
ever
I ever made.
made,
I
bro.
tell these folks that all the
But
time.
listen, bro, I
Listen,
did,
look,
but
I
and then
understand
look,
boys in the
Key,
hood. I remember boys in the hood said they'll never join
bro,
a white man army. Y'all bullshit.
bro,
Bullshit.
bro. Don't let the listen, man. You have to realize some people out here don't want nothing to work, so they can keep doing what they doing. It
Man,
gives
bro.
them an excuse to stay where they at. But me, bro, I say the military one of the best decisions I ever made, and I didn't even take full
Got it, though,
advantage
bro.
of it, bro.
Appreciate it. Man, it's so much. Look, I'm talking
I
about
didn't.
a month, yo. I exposed my business, yo. So look, when I got out the military and with my VA, so my VA was like 4 racks a month at the time, a little over 4. I got my retirement. I got my other check from the military, the combat related special pension pay for being injured in Iraq and Afghanistan. I got another check in. So just alone, it was like a little bit over 6,500 a month right then. Remember I told you I was going to school out in Boston.
Yeah.
In Massachusetts. That was another 3,000. I was putting in $10,000 a month just sitting there, just going to school. $10,000 just sitting there
Boy,
going to school. Like maybe just each month, just waking up, going to school. That was the only thing my requirement had. That's all I did. House, zero down the payment. I didn't put zero down. VA home loans,
yeah, yeah.
zero down, zero, not a penny, not one penny, y'all, not a nothing. Because our loans in the military is backed by the VA, so banks are more lenient towards the fact that they got the VA bank backing them. What else was it?
What I
All
was
them
finna
checks
say,
coming
what was
in.
your
I got my
MOS, bro?
retirement. I still got my insurance, like everything. Student loan. My student.
What
I told you people that too.
hey,
I had over $440,000 worth of student loans, y'all. $440,000 worth of
how
student
much?
loans. I ain't had to pay a penny back. Not one penny. Not a penny. I ain't had to turn in no
Bro,
paperwork. They did it automatically. I didn't have to turn in one penny. Years ago, they had to, like 10 years ago, you had to turn in like paperwork. By the time I got mine and stuff, I ain't turned out one piece of paperwork. Everything was paid for. Forgiven.
let them listen. Let these folks talk. Let you see. I ain't. My daddy was in the Air Force. All three of my uncles
Yeah.
was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. I'm not going to encourage my son to go to the military.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell him what to do, but I definitely will make it known that it's an option that
yeah,
can put you
definitely.
in a position that other people won't be able to get into, bro.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
what was I gonna say, Key? What was your MOS?
Supply, and I
What
was
that
airborne
92,
as well.
92
Yeah.
Yankee?
So my first 3
Oh,
4 years of my enlistment, I was supply. Finally, when I was 11 Bravo, I was bang. So airborne.
oh
So
boy. Listen, Key,
jump.
don't
I was
get
a
me
jump master.
started.
I was airborne, air assault. I'm out Bragg at Fort Bragg. Well, they just changed it to Fort Liberty.
Oh, they did. Then they changed Fort Benning too.
What's Fort Benning name?
Dang, I can't remember, bro, but they changed Fort Benning too.
Oh, yeah, they changed. I know they changed what you call
Man,
it. Bragg is
bro,
Liberty
don't
now.
get me started on air assault, bro. I was supposed to be air assault too, dog.
I did.
I
That's
did
where
the
I did my
12-mile run.
I did airborne and air assault school in at Fort Benning.
Man, I should have man, I did the 12-mile rut march and didn't even go to the class.
Uh, but air assault school don't even take that. Air assault school was only like 10 days long. Airborne
It took
school,
yeah, 2 weeks. That's it.
airborne school was 3 weeks. A cold story about my airborne. So look, when I was in at what is it called? What's the little station called when you first listen for the military? MEP station.
Meps.
Leaving out of LA.
Never
So
forget it.
like here they go. They like, look, we got a. Some of y'all heard me tell the story before. They was like, look, we got a $50,000 bonus. If anybody who wanted $50,000 bonus, I'm like, hell yeah, I do. So next you know, they was like, but you gotta jump out of airplanes. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm good. I ain't jumping out no goddamn airplane.
Yeah.
Sure, man. Sure enough, I go to airborne, air assault. I mean, I get out of basic training, AIT. Then they tell me where I'm going, Fort Bragg. 3 weeks later, I'm in airborne school. I'm like, ain't this about a BITCH? If my ass would have just took the $50,000 back in MEPS, I would have been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. 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 Bro,
3 weeks later.
I remember. Yeah. I remember. See, bro, I wish like I look back at my past, bro, and I wish I would have did more research, bro.
Yeah,
Because when I was in basic training, there was people doing stuff, but I'm like, I didn't understand it. I didn't know about it.
yeah,
I seen people they was already specialists. I'm like, bro, how is you already
yeah. I
E4,
was
bro?
I was
I'm
mad at
butt
that too,
naked out here.
for real.
I'm
It,
butt naked. I ain't got nothing but
but
Velcro, bud.
look, fam, I passed up all those folks though. So look, I came in. I was a PV2 when I came in. They didn't count on my credits from the school I was at when I was younger. I'm like, it's BS, whatever. So now I came in PV2.
You supposed to be PSC, yeah.
Y'all supposed to be PFC. Within a year, no, within 8 months, I got my PFC. Now, when I got to Brack, I got a PFC. Uh, I did a Soldier a Month board. Next thing I did my Soldier a Month board. I got promoted at 18 months for E4. After I became E4, we get deployed down range. You get deployed down range, I became deployable. I mean, I became promotable. Uh,
Promotable, yeah.
I had already did what is it called? Warriors Leaders Course, WLC. Next, you know what up,
WFC,
man?
yeah.
Next, thing you know, right before we closing down Iraq in 2011, right before we closed down Iraq, they had a promotion board. Did my promotion board, man, my name was on there. I was downrange. I was doing corresponding courses. I was doing everything. So like 2 years and like 2 months in, I got promoted to E5. My homeboy that was an E4 that came in the E4, he actually graduated from my actual college. I passed him.
You was Lem Bravo though, right?
At that time, no. At that time, I wasn't. I was still within
Oh, okay.
my first enlistment. Yeah. Hamo, what up,
Was
fam?
points was low?
Points was high at the time. Points was high as hell. It was high as hell.
Bro,
I
bro.
maxed out on corresponding courses. At the time, I had got my degree already when I was downrange. I had got my associates, and my associates matched me out in points, and then corresponding course, I matched them out downrange. And then when the points came out, I was
Yeah,
already PT score was already there. I had everything. So
right. Bro, that 798 was discouraging me,
when
boy. I
it's
swear,
a
bro. That
hate,
jump was making me not even want to try, bro. But I didn't realize that points dropped. Like I should have been ready for them when they dropped, but I just kept looking at 798 like it
yeah.
ain't never gonna happen, man.
The the I think the thing is still online. My name on here. Let me see. Hold on.
bro. I'm playing basketball. Playing basketball. Bro. The videos of us playing basketball is still online, bro. We didn't lose not one single game.
Downrange? What up, man?
Fort
What?
Huachuca, Arizona. In Arizona.
Uh, let me see some. Let me see if my
But
name look on.
you said you were in Iraq, Afghanistan in 2011.
I 2011 Iraq. Iraq.
That's crazy. We was in the military at the same time.
For real? Yeah, I was 82nd
Yeah.
Airborne.
I when did you join? When did you sign up? When did you first sign up?
Uh, 6.
Okay, I came in '09.
Okay.
Shoot, I was still in high school when you went in.
Yeah, it was worth it though. I ain't even cap like it, I wouldn't take
Nah,
that back for nothing.
it was, bro. Like the military, when they say they take care of soldiers, boy, they mean while you in there and when you get out.
Yeah,
They really do, boy. I don't care what nobody say, boy. They really do.
hell yeah.
But I realized, like with anything, bro, you get out of it what you put into it, bro. Had I put more into the military, I would have got a lot more out of it. But I was super young, bro. Super young. Here I am, 34. Just got my associate degree last year in December. Supposed to been had bachelor's degree by now. Been had it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
But when it come down to the degrees and stuff though, a whole lot of people get their degrees, but you gotta know how to use it though. A lot of folks don't know how to use their degree. Like they'll get it and they don't even use it. Like they'll get a degree and all of a sudden they still sitting at, they'll be working at Verizon. And it's like, damn fam, you got your bachelor's, you working at Verizon, and they bachelor's degree will be in something like something the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You gotta
But
know
I
how you
will
gonna
say this,
apply it.
bro. Bro, I'm reading right now. I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And in one of the beginning parts of the book, he was talking about a guy that was working for Andrew Carnegie. And he was saying that the most valuable skill that you could have is the ability to work with people, bro, to be able to deal with people. And I don't care what type of degree you got, bro. If you got a bad attitude, bro, don't nobody want you around.
Man,
Like if you don't know how to be sociable, don't nobody want you around, bro. You could have a high school diploma and the best attitude, and
yeah.
you'll get farther than somebody with a master's degree with a bad attitude, bro.
All facts too. All facts. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that a lot of people don't understand too. Energy is important, y'all. I'm gonna say this for a reason. Energy. Like your morals, your values, it'll feed off on the energy that you push out into the universe. Silently. Even with the words that you speak. Let's say for example, y'all, it's so many people inside Keyz that don't like each other. They ain't got no problem with me. They don't like each other, but they ain't got no problem with me. They may not like each other. One, they trust me, whether it's on or behind the scenes, like I'm gonna move a certain way. Like morals, I'm gonna stand for something, and like it's gonna push off to that way. Like I'm not finna sit up here and I feel like if I got something to say about somebody publicly, and then I'll say behind closed doors, I won't say about something about somebody publicly. Like people can have certain things going on, and I will still stand. I'm gonna be the same way behind closed doors I am on live about something. Like it ain't finna be I'm gonna speak some rational sense on live, publicly, behind live. When the cameras is off, I'm gonna be the same way. Like I'm not gonna be biased about no shit. I'm gonna just keep it real, keep it 1,000 about the situation. That's why a lot of the people on here, y'all will still see that they still drawn to me. I'm still a genuine. It ain't mean people gonna come out that's actually genuine. Like this day and age, a lot of folks is already their minds. I feel like their mind they already been uh they've impacted so much by appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate the gifts. They've been impacted so much by these outside influences that energies they've allowed into their life to the point where it's changed them as a person, that morally, the words that they speak. They've saying a lot of stuff that they wouldn't normally say. They saying a lot, or they doing certain things they wouldn't normally do. Like
Yeah.
they just acting out in certain ways, and it's like no, you never let something just Any association, if it goes against your morality, you need to evaluate your association with that person, that thing, that whatever the hell it is. It could be social media, it could be people, it could be work. If it's going against your morality, you gotta sit back for a second, reevaluate your connection to it. It should never override
Man,
your morality.
I done seen in so many books I done read, man, it seemed like the same information is being like circulated amongst the same types of people who winning in life. And one of the things that they say in one form or another is that you can only go as far in life as the five people closest to you. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, the number can vary, but the principle is the same. Like the people around you determine where you going.
Yeah, definitely. That's the energies that people keep around them. Like the energies like that you allow into your life so close. Like if it's at a distance and you able to keep them at a distance. Like you know how people like it's cool to play chess or this one concept I don't like. I've said this when people say keep your friends close and enemies closer. I don't believe in that.
And it's
I
close
don't
to
want no.
you.
I don't want no negative ass. No, if you negative, if you on some weird energy, I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
Like no, I want to deal with you from a distance. I don't want to keep no negative energy around me. What the hell? I like pulling that negative energy
Yeah.
closer to me. Like if you just that negative, no, I don't want that negative energy around me. I want you to keep it. I want to keep it at a distance. Like I don't want it close.
Now I
I don't know why they
respect.
say that, but it's like a slogan that people go along with, and they think it makes sense. But
I
no,
mean,
I
bro, I
understand
like.
using my enemies as my footstool. Yeah, definitely. But not keeping them friends close and enemies closer. No, I can't rock with that. I'm not.
Nah, that's. I like the fact that you're willing to challenge statements that often go around like they absolute truth, bro.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, got to. We ain't robots. And so many people that you see these days, they just be following a trend. They follow the norm. People gotta stop following the norm. Like stop following the trend. The trend can be wrong. I don't give a if 1,000 people up here are saying that, let's say for example, 2 plus 2 is 9. I'm gonna be the motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, what? Hold on. I just held up 2 fingers and I held up another 2 fingers. It's 4. I don't give a damn what y'all got going on. No, it's 4. It's not 9. I don't care what y'all talking about. It's not 4. Y'all crazy as hell. Any close means you see them, even though they not near you. Okay.
I think I think
From one,
anything
if everybody,
can be
okay, Hamo,
challenged,
if
bro.
everybody looked at that perspective like that, they should keep like that. That should be the perspective. But some folks really feel like that in reality, and it's like, no. Let's say, for example, you know who I consider my son, and he got the people that shot at him around him, and he got the people that wish death on him. There's no way in the world I would keep those people close to me as if it's some type of law. And that's not law. I think those people take it too literally. I understand that perspective, definitely. I want them at a distance, but I'm gonna keep my eye on their ass, but I'm gonna want them at a distance. But in my internal space, peace, no, I'm good. But go ahead, Aaron.
No, no, no. I was just saying that anything has the potential to be challenged, bro. And I think that we run into trouble when we think that we have the absolute truth and everybody need to follow what with work for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't I personally feel like everybody, like, I know we say it, everybody's different, but I really believe everybody has their own unique set of challenges and obstacles they have to face in life, that
yeah,
the
definitely.
recommendation for somebody else may not be effective in their life, and they just have to
Yeah,
maybe find some more advice or either create their own advice. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely. But it's over to them to tap into it internally. They gotta tap.
Ultimately, at
Mhm.
the end of the day, at a certain point, now this isn't to justify bad behavior from people, but ultimately we all responsible for our life at the end of the day. You
Yep.
might not be responsible for what somebody did to you, but you are responsible for moving forward and what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, and that's And that's the concept of when it comes down to the concept of what I say about, I feel like some folks is already dead. They just walking around with a heartbeat. Like some of the folks in the world, like our responses, I think it ain't about the negativities that the people, it's your responses to those people that's pushing off that negative energy.
Yeah.
How you
Now
respond to that negative energy. You know it's there, you can be aware of it, but how you gonna respond to it? But if you respond to that negative energy that you know is there, that you have a challenge with, that's challenging you, your energy, whatever, Jesse, you love me. It's how your responses to it. If you respond to that negative energy that you see that's a challenge in the world, and it changes you and got you acting just like that, but just in a different way, like, nah, that's the battle.
I think everybody is in a battle in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that with social media allowing,
My bad, my
life
phone
they
messed up.
live.
Say that again, my
Nah,
bad,
you
my phone
good.
messed up.
Nah, I was saying because of social media's way of allowing people to present false representations of the life they live in,
Yeah.
people who are struggling can falsely and disproportionately compare their life to these things.
Yeah.
So they think that, oh man, something must be wrong with my life because this person looked like they got themselves together and that they got it all figured out, but that don't exist.
I
You can
hate
have
that,
the
man.
car,
I hate that.
huh?
It be, social media creates a false illusion of what, sometimes it's a false illusion of what life really is. To the point where
I
people
mean,
start evaluating themselves based
Matt,
upon what they seen on social media.
McDonald's do too. McDonald's do too, cause them hamburgers don't look like that when they get in your car. Them patties be looking thick on the menu. Them
Man,
little thin, I worked at McDonald's before. Them little thin pieces of meat, man. That
man,
ain't no double T burger, man.
man. They start, look, for real. People's on social media, like when they start seeing relationships, like let's say for relationships, y'all, they start seeing relationships on social media, or they hear a reel, and they'll take that 15-second clip of a reel that they saw, and they're like, man, that made sense, and it just altered their perspective towards their current relationship. It's like, no, that man don't know what the hell he
Bro,
talking about, or that woman don't know what the hell she talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying?
bro.
You have to actually look at it, like them people just making reels. A lot of them folks on there, they not speaking in real. It sounds good, but in reality, when it's put into play, like it's other factors and variables that come to play that can impact certain things, that can cause certain things that's not being taken into consideration. So some of the
And
stuff that's pushed out there can be real, but
and look though, Keyz,
what up?
which takes me back to what you said at the very beginning of this conversation, is that you were saying that you felt like you agreed with 70% of the stuff that we were saying in the cult, but what I want to say is that what you just said applies. I feel like that applies. Like it sounded good,
Yeah,
but when you begin to put these things into practice,
yeah,
they don't yield any significant benefits like we were advertising they
yeah,
would.
yeah. That's how it is, and that's why I said like 70%, because some folks out there, they aren't able to decipher what actually applies, what actually is real. Like I'm able to apply, what actually applies to me. That's why I said 70%. I can slice and dice stuff, so that was actually dope. That was actually real. Some of the stuff I feel like was extreme, but some of the stuff I can say was actually real. I wouldn't knock everything that as if it was as if it was bad from your perspective, as if it was just bad, just the worst, because it wasn't. Like it was influential to a lot of people, whether they chose to, what I'm saying, to do certain things with it or not. Some of the stuff definitely was. A lot of stuff they can learn from, even from you today. They can hear you speak. They can learn from you today. So even when it comes, like I said, when I keep going back to the black women with the hair stuff, I definitely know it doesn't mean that, how science is always, it can be proven different. But when it comes down to like, and Ed was saying this as well, black women with wigs and the glues and stuff like that, blocking certain things that you may need in order that which will help you with life. It will help you with some part of your anatomy, which is actually needed now. How much weight that actually holds, I think it depends on the person. It is some evidence that shows
Bro,
that actually
I
is true. It is evidence out there show
I'd like
that
to.
there's gonna be other greater evidence out there as well. But I think that applies to a lot of
I
stuff. Like it's some blocking certain. I forget what you had said. What was you saying? If you can remember what you were saying, the chemicals. See, like other people saying the same thing, like the chemicals.
so
Not
listen what this what I'm saying though.
even though you may have hypocrites out there though, fam. But
No,
at the same
this
time, yeah,
no this I'm not. No, what I'm saying is that putting a wig on your head is not going to significantly impact your character and your ability to decipher between what's right and what's wrong. And
yeah,
I'm saying that a lot of the things we were talking about,
mm-hmm,
they sounded good, but in the grand scheme of what I feel like we need to be focused on and the things we need to address, weave ain't one of them.
yeah,
But but I mean, bro, at the end of the day, bro, it to nobody's gonna really understand the way we do because we was there, and it's different watching it. I understand the perspective certain people have from the outside looking in. It's not gonna be the same. It's like trying to understand the military without joining. You
yeah,
can watch videos on YouTube, but you're not gonna understand what it's like to be in that uniform and do it every day. And to like people go to work and they go home, and when they're not on the clock, they're not liable to that company. But when you're
yeah,
in the military, you're a soldier 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so there's certain things that we know as veterans that people who weren't in don't know. And what I'm saying is that your perspective of what you were looking at is limited
yeah.
because you wasn't there, bruh. That's all I'm saying,
Oh yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, definitely,
That's
definitely.
it,
No,
dog.
we don't. No,
That's
we,
it,
yeah, we
bro.
don't know all the stuff. Of course, we definitely don't know that. That's just like the knowledge that some folks put out there, even though it could be other variables or factors that go along with it and things of the unseen. But just in some of the stuff that y'all were pushing out, not everything. We're not saying everything is. We're not saying everything was just perfect or it was just evil. I'm not gonna take that what you call it, but I can at least say when y'all was teaching about certain things, it made sense. It made sense. It made sense for a lot of people. Not to discredit. I mean, not to say we advocating for anything that occurred that you guys experienced or try to make it seem like the uh, or devalue anything that you guys was experiencing or whatever it may be. Just on some of the topics though, like just being hair, being an example. A lot of women feel like hair is their crown. And by anything, if you put anything over it to try to block it out, you're blocking out some essential things that you need a part of your life. And even though it's one of the many things on Earth that's challenges on Earth. It ain't the biggest one, no, definitely. Because there's other stuff we need to worry about, but that definitely
Oh,
it was meaningful to a lot of people.
I got you. And like I was saying earlier, man, I'm not taking no stance on this is what it is. This is what you should be doing. I
Yeah,
don't think that stance is effective. One, people don't like to be criticized, and two, everybody, regardless of how much information you have, you're still subject to being wrong.
yeah, definitely.
And so my stance now is more of a mutual engagement rather than a I'm coming on here to tell y'all what y'all need to be doing.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
feel like everybody in this chat that's not a bot, maybe even the bots, but everybody in this chat that's an actual human being on the other side of their profile, they have some type of value
All right, come back, fam. My phone getting hot. We get to this next box, y'all. We 200 beans away. Cash, yes. Tell all the low supporters. I told her I got her. But go ahead, fam.
No, that's it. I was done.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
done.
For sure. Right, appreciate it. But we gonna be live on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Sunday,
I
y'all.
mean, I might go tomorrow. But I know that Sunday is the first or whatnot, and so it'll be a good time to start fresh at the beginning of the month.
Yeah. He's not gonna get mad at y'all too if y'all actually slip up and call him the T word. Either y'all, he
Nah,
got
bro.
fans.
I'm not, bro. I'm not even like that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it take too many calories to be angry, and like, I'm not about to be screaming at my phone, bro. Like, spit be all on your phone, and you gotta wipe it off later, and now you're running out of wipes, using them for extra stuff that you wouldn't have to use it for. But nah, man, I understand because that's what people largely associate with and identify me as. So I would imagine it would take some time because I was in that identity for almost 5 years. So,
Yeah.
but the crazy thing about it is that even though my online presence is largely associated with CarbonNation,
Yeah.
most of my life wasn't online. So
Nah.
it's funny when people try to make me, no, this is who you is. But I'm like, bro, but I was me longer than I was in CarbonNation. So
Yeah.
dang. Oh, definitely lost, Black Mamba. Definitely lost in the sauce. What I was in, listen, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm probably gonna advocate for this every day. But listen, y'all. Listen, bro. Netflix just came out with a documentary called How to Be a Cult Leader. Check that out when y'all get a chance, man. And they also got a series called Explained, and they have an episode about cults on there as well. So it's a lot of stuff that is very interesting that has been studied over time. Cults aren't nothing new. I think that our situation is unique because we were black and it was on the internet, which is two things that you don't typically associate with cults. Most cults like to stay covert, and at least from my understanding, I thought cults was only for white people. I
Yeah.
didn't know they had Mexican cults, they got Asian cults, they got Indian cults, they have cults associated with every race, every group of people,
Yeah.
every ethnicity.
See,
Now, when it comes to no a cult, anybody can be a group. You can have a group and you can believe what you want to believe. You're just a group. You're a tribe or whatever you want to call yourself. You don't become a cult until you start becoming abusive.
it could be verbal or physical.
Yeah. When the abuse sets in, that's when a group transforms from a tribe or religion to a cult, and then you got to have the identified leader or whatnot. But I'm telling y'all, man, if Netflix has like 6 documentaries as it pertains to cults, bro. Cults is gaining traction, bro. I don't know if y'all know about Keith Raniere with Nexium. They just had this guy. Netflix just released a documentary yesterday. La Munda. It's a church. It was a cult in Mexico. Texas is Waco. Um, but y'all, I think y'all will really like that. How to Be a Cult Leader on Netflix. It's really good. And I don't expect y'all to go in deep as I have because you wasn't necessarily involved with it to the level that I was. But yeah, check that out, Black Mamba. Let me know what you think, bro.
Well, all right, let me ask you: can church? Okay. Do you feel like church or coach?
No,
Gotcha.
a church. You can't just say that something's a cult without going into their behaviors. You can believe what you want to believe, you can do what you want to do, but when people start getting abused, that's when you become a problem. Now, cults don't necessarily have to be religious. You can be online and be a cult. You can be in the public and be a cult.
Gotcha.
How much I want y'all to check out how to be a cult leader and y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all make
See,
your own conclusion.
I
Like
tell
that's
you,
another thing. Like I'm not here to
I'm gonna say,
force nobody to believe what I want to believe or drive home a point, man. I just want y'all to check out some of the things I watch and then y'all come up with y'all own conclusion. Some of y'all might think we were just a bunch of people crazy. You might think it wasn't a cult. That's fine, but
all right. So let me say this. All right.
oh snap, what was that?
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, so the
Yeah,
code
it's
you said the code aspect must be uh physical or psychological abuse. I'm kind of all right. So let's say for example, like I'm a Trump hater. I don't like Trump.
okay.
I think Trump has a huge cult. I think that cults has to have to have an organization or have to have a person, a hierarchy, and I think the people associated may have some whatever they're when I get a concept about something, if it goes against your morality, you need to reevaluate your connection, your relationship with whatever it is, whether it's the object, whether it's a person, because it may go against somebody's morality on a certain aspect. I feel like Trump is a person, and the code has to have something where they have the ability to influence the organization as a whole, and to the point where you have all these people walking around saying 2 plus 2 is 9. And I
Right.
feel like, um, and the reason that they're saying 2 plus 2 is 9 is not because on the aspect of it makes sense, but on the aspect of because of their connection to the organization. Somebody in the comments said gangs. Are gangs cults?
Gangs, it's arguable that gangs could be considered cults, but I'm telling I just want y'all to listen. Y'all, I'm not no expert. I'm still
Yeah.
learning and figuring this stuff out just like y'all. I'm just letting y'all know where I've started. Like there's this guy named Dr. Stephen Hassan. I think it's Steve Hassan. But he used to be in this Korean cult called the Moon, called Combating Cult Mind Control. I've read that book. And I'm telling y'all, and like I told y'all, watch the documentaries on Netflix. There's too many parallels with the for it to be a coincidence. I'm not saying it's a cult for no reason. I'm saying that I did my research after leaving, and I used to hear people say it all the time. Like, this a cult, this a cult, y'all in the cult, y'all in the cult. And I'm like, well, let me check and see. Let me see if there's a possibility that I was in fact in a cult. And after doing my research, it lines up. The a cult has certain characteristics and traits that psychologists and sociologists have identified over time. And these traits line up exactly with our group. So I'm not just saying it for no reason because it's a buzzword. I'm saying that this is the conclusion I reached by looking at Charles Manson, Jim Jones. Y'all used to say Jim, no, I'm not gonna say y'all, but certain people used to say Jim Jones all the time. Do you know who Jim Jones is to me? The dude from Dipset. I didn't know about no Reverend Jim Jones, bro. I just figured out who Jim Jones was last year. So when you look at Jim Jones, Charles Manson, Father Divine, Warren Jeffs, Keith Raniere, Jaime, I think it's Jaime Ramirez or Jaime Gomez, there's parallels and behaviors that can be identified with cult leader I was involved with, bro. So I'm saying y'all reach your own conclusion. I'm not
Got
here to convince you or tell you you wrong.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, look at what I've seen, and then you make your own conclusion from that point.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha. What up, Hamo?
Hey, Mr. Dixon, what's up, B?
What's up,
I'm
Hamo?
just, I'm listening. I'm getting your perspective, but from a cult can take different meanings. It can be from a negative aspect all the way to fandom. Like, okay, Taylor Swift has
The cult
Swifties.
following,
They
yeah,
are a
got you. Yeah,
diehard cult following.
yeah,
You know,
got you.
you got a diehard cult following of
Jihad.
Trump. You got a diehard cult following of Mary. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What happened to your phone? Hamo, come back. Something happened to your phone.
Yeah, he probably might have been in a bad spot. Her
Yeah.
phone died. But like I was saying, bro, like
Let me ask you this: do you feel like can
yeah,
cults can they be positive or cults are?
no, no, because from my research now, this is where I'm coming from.
See, that's how you say
It's
that's how you do it right there. That's how you look. That's what we talking about. From my research, that's in
bro, yeah,
my
bro, I
perspective.
state.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, bro, I'm not about to adopt no position. Like, bro,
Yeah.
do you know how, like, I went back and listened to the things we were saying and acting like we was absolute right. We was wrong, bro. We was wrong about a lot of stuff. So I would never adopt a position of absolute correctness, knowing that I can be proven wrong at any time. If Albert Einstein could be proven wrong, I can too, bro. Like, experts in fields,
That's deep.
medicine, psychology, they get proven wrong all the time.
That's
So
deep.
it would be foolish for me to adopt that stance. But what I'm saying, from what I've researched, cults are synonymous with abuse. So me and you right now, Keyz, we can make a group and we can believe that the moon is gonna crash into the earth and destroy everything. But as long as nobody's getting beat or forced or mentally intimidated or anything like that, we are not a cult. You cross over into being and people use terms like cult, but they use it like sparingly. Like they don't really, like most people don't understand the severity of cults because they're not something that's taught. They're not something that's taught about in high school. So when you hear the word cult, you think it's you think it's a joke. Like you don't understand that it's something that's existed for a long time and that is very serious. And it's not something that can be debate for me. It's not something, when you look at what it is,
Yeah.
it's not something that can be, oh, maybe it's good and maybe it's bad.
Mhm.
It's bad. Like with the word gang usually is associated with people who inflict some type of violence, usually.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, even though you could say Scooby-Doo had a gang, but for the most part, when we talk about gang, we talk about violence.
Something bad associated with bad.
Yeah, but as long as you're removed from violence and abuse, you're just a group. You're a tribe. You're a team. But but
Mm.
but a cult, bro, a cult can, even though that, like I said, like you gave some really great examples about, Taylor Swift could have a cult following. But what I'm talking about in the context of people who are following a leader, which is tied into abuse, then you got yourself a cult.
Gotcha.
I mean, as per the definition that I just read about a cult, I would say, I get what you're saying, but you know, cults are synonymous for religious organizations as well, where you have a leader and then you have its following, and we could see that every single day on any given Sunday, from a mega church all the way down to a church on the corner where folks flock to go to this leader. They admire this leader. They are a cult following of this leader. Like, but they're not being abused.
Right. Which don't make them a cult. So, and then also, Hamo, them people can go home too.
But by definition, if you look up
They can go home.
if you look up the definition of a cult, it doesn't associate what I just read. It doesn't associate it with abuse or anything like that.
But how many dictionaries are there?
Yes.
Well, see, then now, but then that would make that word objective. Then, so I think it would be
You meant
uh
subjective.
or subjective, shall I say? I think you may have one viewpoint and there may be another viewpoint. So now you got all these different viewpoints. I myself don't feel like you have to be abused to be a part of a cult.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna say that if it can control the mind of the person, that's what I was like. If it can, to the point where if it goes against your morality and your connection to that is your connection to the whatever group or object it is, if it has the ability to override your morality to whatever it is, I think that Pink Cash,
Well, let me
I got you, Pink Cash.
It's
let me
like you think of
let
the
me.
word cult, when you think of the word cult, you sort of associate that with like this negative sort of word. I don't know. It
Yeah,
sounds negative to me versus
yeah,
if you were to say, "Oh, I'm a part of a group."
yeah,
Now you're gonna. That's a different. I have a different feeling. I feel different when I say I'm part of a group versus part of a cult.
Of
So
course,
it's like the sound of it in itself could give off like that negativity.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
he's speaking from
uh,
the situation that
but I
he
want
was
to tell you
involved
this,
in
Hamo. I want
too.
to tell you this, Hamo. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about nothing I read in a book.
yeah. He's
Like
speaking
I'm
from he was
telling you
involved.
what I directly
Yeah,
experienced,
his
and that's
experience.
why I choose that word
yeah.
because of my experience. My experience, the best thing I found that aligns with my experience
Yeah.
is the word cult. It is
Mm,
negative on purpose. I want it to be negative. That's my intent. When I use
gotcha.
the word cult, I'm not trying to send a positive message at all.
You know,
Well, could you put a word in front of that and say you were part of a somewhat of a militant cult?
No, I don't think there needs to be any distinguishment to it because I'm not into this to the semantics of it. Because the only thing I want people to know is that it was not something that anybody looks back on and says, "Wow, that was a positive experience." So
Mm.
I'm not here to distinguish between it being a militant cult, a religious cult, a food cult, a political cult. I'm just letting you know it was a cult
gotcha.
because of the abuse that occurred in the environment.
So, can I ask you, Mr. Dixon, are you no longer in this cult?
No, sir.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Hambo,
that's really what I wanted to ask you. Like,
Hambo,
uh,
you don't know who this is?
yeah, I know who this
Oh,
is.
okay.
It's just shocking to me because just hearing him talk right now is it's like, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I don't know. Are you, wait a minute. So, no more Nature Boy?
No, sir.
That's been a year. That's been a
No,
year.
sir. And look, Hamo, I completely understand where you coming from because this is a very unique situation because I'm sure you've seen me conducting myself in one way for a long time and now I'm conducting myself in a completely different way. And so it's kind of hard to really know what to do with this, but I
Did you
appreciate you
start
coming up
having
here though.
Did you start having this sort of change of mind when Nature Boy got locked up, or was this sort of like were you having these internal feelings prior to?
You know
So there
that's
were
a good
internal
question right there.
feelings.
That is a good question. When did you start? Because true. I mean, yeah, this I used to be
Thanks,
like
Keyz.
I checked look.
No,
So
you
I
good.
used to be like,
You good.
if anybody, True was gonna be like True was like the Rudy Giuliani, if anything. Like True was like the Scottie Pippen. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, True was gonna keep it all the way. Even when I heard about you leaving, I was like, True will be the one that's not gonna talk as much as everybody else. He'll say some stuff, but True is not gonna be the one that's gonna go out there and just.
Yeah.
I feel like True
I
that this off knowing his character.
I
I'm like
mean,
True was not gonna be that one.
yeah,
He said some stuff, but
yeah.
it wasn't like to,
What
but other folks was.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Like somebody I admire a lot and who I feel like I was in a similar situation with is Malcolm X. I knew a little bit about Malcolm X being with the Nation of Islam and listening to some of his speeches and whatnot, but I didn't find out about anything he said about Elijah Muhammad until last year. I didn't know Malcolm X actually made a statement, and I'm gonna look it up because I want to be punctual, bro. I want to make sure I'm on point with this because I love Malcolm X, bro, for various reasons. But not to stray from that, bro. But to answer your original question, so we don't lose it, Hamo. Um, there were instances where I wanted to challenge what was going on, but because of the atmosphere and what I believed at the time, I thought that something was wrong with me. You know, maybe I need to dedicate myself more. Maybe I need to, work harder. Or maybe I need to face my demons. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, yeah.
when this, and I said this on the interview with the T I did last year, but what was significantly different about those moments of doubt versus what happened after he got arrested was that when he got arrested, it was the first time in 4 years that it created enough space for me to actually start thinking for myself again. Because
Mm,
prior to that, it was a constant echoing of him talking, him talking, him talking, him talking, other people around me repeating what he was saying, what he was saying, what he was saying, what he was saying, what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to believe. But when I was in that garage, it was just me. There was no echo chamber. There was nobody to reinforce the doubt. So I got to
yeah.
explore the doubt and begin to look at things like, wait a minute, that was a dumb decision. And like it was the first time in 4 years that I actually started looking at stuff from the way the people in the so-called chat or the so-called demons have been saying this whole time. I'm like, I get
Mm.
to
Can I ask
explore.
you?
Yeah,
Can I
go ahead.
ask you two questions? So it's just two-part question.
Okay.
So during that time, I'm assuming you. I think you said you're 34. So
Yes,
you
sir.
clearly were a grown man. On the scale of 1 to 10, how did you how much of a man did you feel you were during that time period on a scale of 1 to 10? Crickets.
No, I want to make sure I give you a legit answer.
Okay.
Because I'm
And you'll understand why I'm asking this question because I'm going to have a follow-up question.
probably said she don't think it's fair. He was law.
No, I get, I get where everybody's coming from, but I'll entertain it just to see what the follow up question is. Um, it's a really difficult question to ask because it depends on what you want to base it off of.
No, it's really just the numbers. So, like on the scale of 1 to 10, how did you feel? Because clearly, you this organization, or let's just say, cult, is being led by a very strong mindset, a strong
Oh
male
wait,
mindset.
I'm sorry. I actually thought. Wait, hold on. Wait, you don't believe it was a cult?
No, no, I'm saying a cult. It was a cult. So what I'm saying is it's led. So my follow up question to that is the reason why I'm asking is,
Okay.
did you feel weak as a man during that time period?
Well, it wasn't a linear thing. There was
Okay.
moments where I felt good about what I was doing. There was moments where I second guessed what I was doing. And so it fluctuated at different points. Like, even though it was largely a lot of content was recorded online, a lot of it. But there was things that occurred that didn't happen online as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's a very difficult that it's very difficult to take the circumstance that I went through and put a number on it.
Okay. Okay. And because as I hear you talk, I hear a strong-minded male figure, very intelligent, articulate. So I was just curious to know what was, were you experiencing like any weaknesses during that time period? What was the mindset? Because quite frankly, I mean, you speak from a leader perspective. That's, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I was just curious about like how did you even get involved?
Yeah. And so I started what can you playing? Church music, where that is, barbecue music.
Let me let it up. I'm in LA. These folks always
Oh, that's
playing music in their
you.
damn
Oh, okay. I thought that
cars.
was Keyz.
They playing the music in their cars. But yeah, no, there is, and to the comments, there's no such thing as a stupid question ever. I don't believe in stupid questions, especially when you're curious and you're not aware of something. I always when this is a situation to me that it's a really big, it's a big deal, and a lot of the folks that I've heard are like super intelligent, including yourself. And so I always wonder, like, well, how can you take someone with such a powerful mindset and they get wrapped up into a situation such as a cult? So I don't know. I'm just trying to feel your from a male perspective, just trying to feel out your mindset as why did it even get started? Why did you even stay? And then eventually the change of mind, the change of heart, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's it's like okay, so let me explain this real quick. So since I left, I've read a lot of books on cults and I watched a lot of documentaries on cults. So to try to transfer all that information to you would take a long time. But just to summarize it, I thought I was joining. I didn't join a cult because people don't join cults. I thought I was joining a group that aligned with my values at the time. They were vegan. Um, They were interested in astrology. They were spiritual. They believed in community. And these were the types of things that I wanted to be involved in. And so why not get involved in the group? When you want to play basketball, you join a team. When you want to play chess, you join a club. So, and mind you, I had just got out the military. So I needed to find a place of belonging. And I don't have an issue saying that because, sometimes people like to act like they're solo dolo. But I personally believe that belonging is something that every human being wants. I don't care who you are. So I said, okay, this is a group that not only are they black because it probably been different if they were from Africa or Jamaica because there would have been a disconnect culturally. But these people were from the United States. I'm like, boom, let me go out here and rock with these people, man, because they about cleanliness, they about purity, all that stuff like that. So let me go out here, man. But I didn't know what I was getting into, dog. I should have, looking back,
Mm,
I should have did my research before making such a life changing move, bruh. But I was
mm,
confident. I was so
mm.
confident that they were who I thought they was that I didn't have no reservation, man. I just moved out impulsively.
So it's sort of like a bait and switch sort of situation.
Well, what I'm gonna continue to try to deliver to to anybody who has questions like this, bro. It's so much to it, dog. It's not as simple as bait and switch, bro. It's like a cult has layers of dynamics. And that's why I keep encouraging people to watch these documentaries, because I haven't fully grasped the concept of it in totality, because these things have been studied for years and they're continuously being studied. So I know that I could possibly mess it up. So I'm like, watch these documentaries on Netflix. They on Netflix. Everybody got Netflix. Just check them out whenever you get a chance. I'm not expecting you to sit there and read the book like I did, but something like Netflix will keep you engaged and entertained and teach you something about this situation in an easy to
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
format.
Outside of reading doing the research, where do you go from now, from here? Like, what are like your next sort of moves? Are you going to become like, I don't know, a motivational speaker? Like, what are your plans for the future?
I told uh Aaron I could see him speaking,
Me
therapy,
too.
speaking.
Yep.
He may not be. I think he
I hear
downplaying that
motivational
aspect.
speaker. That's what I
Mo-
hear. I hear a
Speaking.
motivational speaker. I hear actually, I hear somebody who can invoke change, especially when it comes to folks that are getting caught up with whether it's a gang situation, a cult situation, whatever that situation is, having found yourself in the wrong atmosphere or in the wrong group of people. I feel like you have a great story to tell, which could make you a great motivational speaker as well. Get paid for it.
Asset for a certain community of people. You know,
Yeah.
he may downplay the concept, but I think you'll be a great asset when it comes to connecting with certain
Yep.
people.
Yep.
Well, like like I was saying earlier, even though I have about 4 years worth of content on the internet being involved with the cult, there's 25 plus years of content that's not on the internet. And so I say that to say that I've been speaking for a long time. Like, I've been speaking since I was a child. And I think that now is something that I seriously want to pursue. And the reason I got back on Bigo is because I feel like it's the best platform for me to continue to exercise that craft. And as
Yeah.
far as plans for the future, what I've learned from my life is that I don't like to look too far into the future. I don't like to look too far into the future, because I remember planning a future with my mother and she died. So what I've learned about life is to respect the fact that I don't dictate every factor of it, and I'd like to be flexible enough to move with the curves that life throws at me. Right now, man, I'm doing reconstruction from the things that I left behind while I was in the
Mm,
cult. Credit score was messed up. I'm
mm.
fixing that. Um, I didn't go to college. I'm sitting on a GI Bill and I'm using that. Um,
Okay.
I'm re-engaging with people because the way I was looking at people was a way that is not gonna get me. It allows you to maneuver in a fantasy world in the echo chamber created by the cult, but you can't come out here the way that we was talking and exist in the real world. You'll get hurt. You'll
Mm.
either get hurt or people don't want to be around you. So I'm looking at how to properly engage with people after being isolated for such a long amount of time. It's like, bro, the world is not a bad place, dog. If you choose to look at it like that, then
I
therefore
agree.
it will get you that.
I
So
agree.
it's a lot of deprogramming. I was expecting for it to happen quicker than it has, but I'm realizing that this is going to be a process. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really just doing the basics of reintegrating myself back into regular society. I look at CNN now to see what I'm saying, what's going on in the world versus what I'm thinking is going on in the world. And so
Mm.
and I'm also open I remember coming on Bigo and everybody on Bigo was demons and they couldn't tell me nothing and I know everything. Now
Mm.
I'm looking at everybody I meet. I don't care if it's the lady at Walmart. I don't care if it's the person from DoorDash. I don't care who it is. I extract value. I'll ask people questions to get them talking, to get some value out of something. I no longer look at people as
So,
these lower
so
self
you're saying
objects.
you got rid of the
Yeah.
biasness. Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
yeah,
Definitely got rid of the bias because they weren't true.
yeah,
They had some fragments of accuracy, but to label them as the absolute truth would not be it would not
yeah,
be accurate. It would not be accurate.
yeah. Hmm.
I can learn this is one of my philosophies, right? No matter who I come in contact with, I can learn something from everybody. And either that's going to be what to do or what not to do, how to do it or how not to do it. And so I pay attention to everybody, bro.
No, no,
I don't
no. That
downplay nobody.
Yeah, Black Mamba. When I say biases, he did have a certain sense of bias because he wasn't he was viewing things from his lens without necessarily looking outward. Like he just mentioned CNN and net and you know the young lady in the store or whatever. So he's no longer looking at things from his perspective without having that knowledge, shall I say?
Well, no,
Is that
I'm looking at things from my perspective, but my perspective is no longer I'm right and you're wrong. My
right?
perspective is what do you have to offer me and what do I have to offer you? Because that's the only effective means of relating with people. Somebody could be sitting on the side of the road, a homeless person, and there's some value there. That's why I love Soft White Underbelly. That dude changed the game on YouTube, bro. He's literally giving people who would have otherwise been ignored the opportunity to share some value, bro.
Yeah,
Crackheads, meth heads, putting
yeah.
out value, bro. So I don't look down on nobody. Everybody got gems, bro. Ain't no one person that dropped gems. Everybody got gems, bro.
Those are facts.
Your
Yeah,
story is documentary worthy. If only you knew that.
yeah. And I also think it's important for people to listen. You know, a lot of times is you just sit there and listen and learn without, cutting people off and reacting too fast. Just listen so you can gain a better understanding. I think it makes for a better, conversation or engagement. So it's interesting as I sit here and listen to you. You know, I'm impressed that you are. You know, that changes progress. You know, whatever healing you got to go through, whatever journey you're on, I think you're going to end up being in a very good space. I mean, you're in a good space now, sounds like, but I'm just I'm a when you switch up. And that unexpected can be where, you're placed in a really good position, a blessing, a blessed position. And we're blessed every single day we wake up. But I'm saying in a sense that, something so big that you never realized would happen to you ever. You know, like you may look up one day and you are on the
Check
CEO.
this out. Check this out. Two things, bro. One, I realize how blessed I am is dependent upon how many I choose to count. I look at my legs, they working. My hands,
Yeah,
they working. My eyes, they working. My hair lying at the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? My skin ain't burnt. I'm not on drugs, bro. You are as blessed as many as you choose to count. And
amen,
two,
amen.
what I like to say, you said something that caught my attention, right? You said people need to listen. And what I like to say to people who like to tell people what they need to do, and this is not to be offensive, start it off. You started off. I think that identify what people need to do, we need to start it off and we need to be that person we talking about. I mean, we used to say that in basketball. Start it off. Start it off. You started off then. If people need to do better, start it off. If people
Well,
need to eat better,
I will say
start it
I've
off.
started off.
Start it
I've
off.
started off a lot of things like
Start it
in
off.
terms of just like listening and speaking positivity into the world. That's me. You know, it's certain things that I really like. My passions are, you know, we talk, you know, when B does his politic panel, that's one of my deepest passions. You know, I get involved in those conversations because it's part of our life. You know, and I don't even like to call it government. I like to just call it life. You know, I like to, you know, I get very, very passionate too, as well. But I also respect mankind. You know, I'm not the one that's gonna do all sorts of crazy shit. You know, when it comes to listening, I'm the one that's going to listen. I'm in a profession where I'm required to listen, quite frankly. But listening to you, man, I admire your journey. I admire where you're going, and you know, big blessings to you. And but I do have one final question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nature Boy,
Hmm. I don't. I
y'all
refer
don't
to him
talk no
as.
more. Y'all don't talk.
I refer to him as the cult leader since the case opened. The cult leader ain't nothing to talk about. I haven't said nothing to the cult leader since the day I left. As a matter of fact, September 27th made 1 year. There's nothing to talk about
Do
because
you do you think the people on do you think the naysayers are those who
Illuminati.